So there we have it then. IMSA is done for 2025. I'm briefly going to try and talk about this in one of the kind of single take videos that I do. The reason why I'm doing it like this is just because I'm still not feeling well. So I kind of need to do it like this to be able to get it all out of the way. But we're going to start off with the GTPs and a blend of the race result and also the championship. Firstly, well done to Cadillac for the win there, especially because it was touch and go with all of the stops towards the end. They did get the win, and as a result, Jack Aitken managed to be second in both the Michelin Endurance Cup and the IMSA Sports Car Championship. In the Endurance Cup, Bamber and Vesti were also second, but given that they haven't done necessarily all of the rounds, as a result, Bamber's in 9th and Vesti's 13th in the IMSA Sports Car Championship for GTPs. Though that said, well done to the champions, Matt Campbell and Matthew Jaminet, who got third at Road Atlanta, got third in the Michelin Endurance Championship, and also managed to win by nearly 200 points in the IMSA Sports Car Championship. That was despite only winning one race all season. Yeah, they got third, second. They got the win at Laguna, their only win of the season. They got a third in Detroit, and then it was 4th, 5th, and 7th across the Glen, and then going to Rodam and Indy. But then a podium to round out the season. Especially better for them than compared to their teammates who do win the Michelin Endurance Championship, but finish third in the GTP standings. And when I was looking at my race to start the season, I couldn't fault Nazar or Tandy that much. But then you look at this one. Ever since they lost at Laguna to their teammates, it was 4th in Detroit, then it was Tandy's crash at the Glen, then it was 11th, 12th, and 10th. I mean, granted, they did pick up penalties, which put them back, but it's still tricky for them. I mean, at the same time, I do feel a little bit for the likes of Julian Adlauer, who, you know, was there, but couldn't race because of being ill on the day. So, yeah, well done to them for still getting the Michelin Endurance Championship. And I think that just wraps that up for GTP for the standings. One thing I do want to point out, though, is how well those smaller teams did. I say smaller teams because they were one car in GTP. And they're the only cars they're manufacturers. But fair play to Lamborghini and to Aston Martin. This is the last time that we'll see the Lamborghini SC63, at least for now. They're not committed to an IMSA program next year because there's not the money for it. But they were in competition for the win. Granted, they didn't have enough virtual energy to make it to the end. But they still managed to get... Did they manage to get a best finish for the Lamborghini in the end for that final race? Romain Grosjean goes to 15th for the standings just by only doing the endurance rounds. 4th place is a fantastic run. It's possibly overshadowed, though, by the fact that the Aston Martin Valkyrie, with Ross Gunnar, Roman DeAngelis, and Alex Riberas behind the wheel, got second, and were 3 seconds off the win. They played the strategy right over the course of the day. I mean, the Lamborghini did get close. Lamborghini did get very close. But that Valkyrie, man, I am so glad that that managed to get a podium to round out the season. It would have been nice if we had second being the Lamborghini, third being the Valkyrie. But it wasn't to be, was it? And just need to accept that it wasn't to be. Still, fair play. Well done by them for all of that. LMP2. Is it surprising that Cameron and Hyatt are the champions? No. Is it surprising that they weren't in the top 3 in the Michelin Endurance Championship? Yeah. Yeah, it is a bit. I mean, they weren't going to be necessarily going into this. I think I talked about that in my preview. But well done to Thomas Jensen and McElray for ending up taking that one. Second place was Dillman Garg. Yeah, Dillman Garg. And then third place was the likes of DeResta, Goldberg, and Lind. That was despite United Autosport having the wheels almost in some cases quite literally falling off the wagon this weekend. It was just chaotic for the LMP2s. I mean, it wasn't as chaotic as it was for GTD and GTD Pro, but it was still chaotic nonetheless. And let's quickly move into talking about the GT3 cars, because, yeah, well done to Garcia and Sims on the championship there. It was basically, they had to get into the top 5 and hope that the likes of Costa weren't in the top 5. That much is true. But they still had to hold off some mighty competition to get a top 5. They got third, they got on the podium. Second place on the day went to the likes of Katzberg, Milner and Verone. Well done for them. That's a nice way for them to end out their season. And it is a good thing to have for Corvette. Just having both cars on the podium to round out the season. Now the winners, and then the winners of the Endurance Cup as a result, Harper and Hess. It wasn't particularly out of the world as a possibility. It was looking quite likely it was going to go to the BMWs anyway, because when you look at second place, it's Snow, Verhagen and De Filippi. But it was still a convincing win at the end of the day, especially when it was tricky for some of these GTPs. I mean, look at what happened to poor Faf at the end of all of it. Talk about GTD more generally. The likes of Ellison Ward did actually have to do anything, did they? Really? After Arib and Shandorf and Franco and Serra got caught in their incidents, the championships were more or less decided. The likes of Man, Pierguidi and Wadu took the Michelin Endurance Cup. That was despite multiple penalties for that car, from blocking for Wadu, and I think, did Pierguidi get bopped for an incident? I mean, it wasn't the strangest one. Who was it? I can't remember now. Got caught going 40k over the speed limit on pit road. But, yeah, it was a good run by them for it. Then for the likes of Triazi with second place, then third place going to the Lexus. This might be the last time that we see the Lexus RCF in competitive action in IMSA, because, well, you're meant to be getting that new Lexus/Toyota sometime soon. Most likely, though, I reckon it'll be for Sebring. That's what people are saying at the moment. But this race had it all. And it was a great way to sum up the IMSA season. The start was so chaotic. It was so messy. There were so many caution periods in that first half of the race. It felt like what we've been talking about after the likes of Indy or after the likes of Rodam. But the second half was almost remarkably clean. There were still incidents. There weren't as many incidents, but there were still incidents. Not going to act like there weren't. But they were fewer and further between. And as a result, strategy came into it. And as a result, we got some very popular results. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section down below, folks. Thank you so much for watching and joining. And I hope we'll see you in a few weeks' time when we get to talk a little bit more about my pre-season predictions for IMSA. I have a feeling some of them are going to be more interesting than others. Right. Till then, bye for now.